we've all been playing the altars.
Oh yeah, baby.
Because I did leave here confused of what it was
I
about.
did legitimately. I started playing it yesterday because the thought popped in my mind. I was like, because like no offense, and it probably came across that way when you were talking about it. I was so fucking bored because I couldn't follow what you were saying.
And I was barely following based off just seeing the screenshots.
So that I was like, I gotta try this game, and turns out it's great.
It's a great game.
It is very much an interesting game. It's probably definitely going to be a sleeper.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And it's already like for me, like one of my favorite games to play this year. I mean, I've had a great time.
It's definitely been one of the better ones.
Frustrating time sometimes.
Oh,
but very frustrating.
It's pissing me off.
John, you haven't even gotten into the gravity bullshit.
No.
Act 2 is a pain in the ass.
The altars are pissing me off.
Yeah, okay, so your altars, you have a totally different thing going on.
They are so bitchy. they are so whiny for how much I'm going out of my way to do everything they want.
Yeah, dude.
We only eat good food around my station.
I mean, so do I.
Yeah.
But it was a whole argument in my game.
See, the only time I really had anyone ask was the technician was getting real angry because I wouldn't build a dorm. Not me.
Oh, you made him just keep sleeping on the floor?
Well, because the altars
a dorm at first.
because the altars, the game, not the characters, the game is not the greatest at being, hey, this has now appeared because you've had this interaction. It fully leaves you to have to figure that stuff out.
Yeah, it's not handholdy.
Oh yeah. It took me 3 days to figure out the Rapidium arc was a room.
Yeah. It took me about a week after the technician went on about the dorms for me to realize, hey, the blueprint's just here now in the middle of all your other bullshit you're trying to do.
But yeah,
because it doesn't give it a notification like, hey, you now got the dorms blueprint or anything like that. It's just, all right, it's in there now if you ever go look.
Right. Yeah, the game does not hold your hand, man. Like, you get to the prologue where you just learn, like, general things about how to play, and after that, it's just like, go.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, and from talking with you guys beforehand, it seems like your guys are not as fucking whiny as mine.
We've had some situations come up. But yours, like, so the for everyone listening, one thing that we're now theorizing that might be, like, an interesting element of like how each game playthrough can change.
The replayability.
Yeah, the replayability is like one thing that John did is that he got the refiner in Act 1. Zach and I did not, and we have not had some of the issues that he's had. Now, not necessarily saying that the issues are coming from the refiner, but it's like him being there.
He's interacting with the other altars.
It's that butterfly effect. So that's an interesting element of this
because
game.
The issue here is apparently in John's playthrough, since he's got the refiner and botanist, those two are hanging out similar to how the technician and scientists do. Me and Alex never got the refiner, so our botanist is a lonely boy, while the tech and scientists continue to combat each other.
Yep.
Oh yeah, tech and scientists. They hang out a lot for two people that don't seem to like each other.
Facts.
And for whatever reason in my playthrough, they like to hang out in my captain's quarters because there's almost every day after I've been out in the fields mining, I'll go and they'll be hanging out in my captain's quarter bitching about something. What are you guys doing here?
You know, I've noticed that too.
So yeah, we have a goddamn lounge and kitchen. Go there.
See, I had the opposite thing where my scientist was hanging out, he's been hanging out in the womb. But my technician likes to hang out in the research lab.
Whatever.
And then if the scientist isn't just hanging out in the womb, then he's down in the dormitory, like sitting in a corner, just by himself.
I've also seen that too, where some of my altars, or like the doctor's one, where he'll just like go to one of the random storage rooms and just sit on the floor. I'm like, why are you in the storage room? It's like, I have an infirmary for you. We have the social room. Like we have 2 dormitories. We got the kitchen that you say how much you love to cook. Why are you just sitting on the floor in the medium storage on the left side of the base? What are we doing? Because like we'll get a prompt where like he wants to talk and he'll just say medium storage. It's like, well, which one? I have like 3. Where are you at?
Yeah. I guess I've never had that issue. All my altars, they stay besides just wanting to hang out in my cabin's quarter, they just stay in the regular rooms.
Yeah, no, they once they're done with work, man, they'll just go chill anywhere. Because like I also had it with captain's quarters too, where it's like I got a prompt from the scientist that he wanted to talk to me. I'm like, okay, where are you at? And I look, he's like, why is he in my room? It's like, why are you in the captain's quarters wanting to talk?
Well, like I said, the refiner when I got him, he really wanted me to make him the gym. And then
Okay.
when I made him the gym, then he really wanted me to make him some dumbbells, which is just like an item that you
Yeah.
make to give to
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
And funny enough, the scientist spends more time in the gym than anybody else.
In those gains of muscles
Yeah,
and brain.
There you go. There you go,
It's
brother.
like the only time the scientist and the refiner are ever around each other is when like one of them's waiting to use the gym and then they just argue.
Now I'm curious, Alex, since if John ever makes out of Act 1, I wonder if his song's
Yeah,
going
I'm
to be different.
kind of screwed right now.
If what though?
If his song's going to be different.
Oh, that's true, because the song's going to change every time. I'm curious what your song's going to be.
I don't know what that means, but I plan on beating it tonight. I'm just gonna have to backtrack a few days.
All right.
Whenever you beat Act 1, the guys decide to celebrate, and they bring up a shared memory pretty much between all of the altars.
Yeah.
About apparently they are part of a band, which leads to discussions of making a song to celebrate.
Yeah. So you end Act 1 on honestly a really good song. It's a really catchy little song that
My
I
guys
listened
are
to
very
multiple
different.
times.
My guys are at very different branching paths on the tree.
Yeah. So I'll be curious what your song's gonna be like.
Because they all bring a different lyric and vibe.
Yeah. Too bad you don't have the minor there. Rip. Rip
Yeah.
his minor. His
Yeah,
minor's dead.
my miner's dead, and I did not attempt to save him.
Wow. See, that's where I'm stuck with my playthrough here at the end of Act 2, where it's just like when I created the miner finally in Act 2, because I was just like, obviously when I created him, I didn't know what was coming, you know,
Yeah.
in terms of timing of like main story, what all was going to heavily restrict me on stuff. So I was like, oh, you know what? This is finally a good time to make the miner. You know, we're in a good position across the board. I can make the miner. He'll do the whole arm thing. We'll get it taken care of. Nope. I still don't have enough fucking time. So now I'm to a point where it's like, I'm at the end of Act 2 and I'm like, I'm about to just go back to the beginning. I don't even care. Because I tried to reset it twice to save this guy and I don't have enough time either one.
See, meanwhile, I viewed it as this dude's more trouble than he's worth.
But see, apparently the payoff's good though, because once you actually do the payoff, like that dude will work crunch time hours without it being crunch time. Because like his whole mind says, I just want to work now. So he'll work like 12-hour shifts without you telling him to.
I
Yeah.
mean, he's a minor.
Yeah,
I mean, for me, the motherfucker wouldn't work.
you gotta keep that crunch time on.
Without even crunch time, dude.
I'm surprised any of your people work, John. Because
Oh,
apparently,
man.
because what it sounds like, they all hate you.
Yeah, it sounds like you're running a rough ship over there, buddy.
That's what I'm saying. They complain a lot
Well,
for being pretty happy.
Yeah,
They're all actually in a good mood.
the
They just
morale's not
bitch.
down after losing the minor. I feel like it would be.
Surprisingly, like the scientist is the only one who cared. Really,
Really? Okay, not the technician.
The technician was like, "Shit happens."
Wow.
Scientist.
That's
The
unexpected.
scientist was more of like, "Man, I respected him. I can respect a good work ethic like that." And I'm sitting there going, "What do you mean work ethic? Dude went out to the mine, got hurt, and then sat in the base for 2 days."
Man, that's interesting that the tech didn't care for you
And then
with how mine's going.
And then the tech I had problems with for a while because he would stay out too late in the day and come back with radiation burns.
Oh
and
yeah,
then
yeah, he will
bitch
complain
and
about
moan.
that. Yeah, he will complain about the radiation quite a bit.
See, I just avoided that. I saw his ass was outside when the radiation, and I went, "What the hell you doing? Get your ass in here. Start farming. What you doing out there?"
Yeah, it's like, what are we doing, buddy? I'm glad you guys checked out the altars, man,
Yeah.
because it's been a really fun experience.
Yeah, it is.
It is definitely a recommended game of the year. If you have nothing playing right now, I'd say pick it up.
Yeah,
It's a nice. It's
100%.
going to be a nice little sleeper hit.
Like especially for like right now for me, this is a perfect game to play because I don't have a whole lot going on
Yeah.
necessarily. I mean, I've been playing a shitload of PoE, but
Mhm.
other than that, like I kind of pumped the brakes on that to check this game out a bit, and then I've basically all afternoon has just been the altars.
Hey, now that we've all played the altars, and I'm curious, what would you guys give the altars on the board?
8.
Yeah, let me hold the board up for context for people.
You got it rewritten?
Yeah, the board, baby. Here we go. John, what about you? What would you give altars on the board as of now?
I think I could probably agree with Zach at 8.
I think 8's right.
Depending on how replayability and however the ending plays out, I might say 9, but as it stands, 8. The overall narrative has been interesting, the character interactions and whatnot. The actually fairly well balanced interactions between gameplay of base management, resource management, and then actual hands-on playing has actually been a very solid balance, surprisingly.
Facts. No,
Yeah.
I think 8's fair, possible 9, depending on how the game ends, because we don't know, obviously.
Like for right now, it's probably a good 8. It's probably on the lower, like 7.5 for me, but that's purely because of my mistakes with the game. Because if I started over right now and started another run,
With what you know.
because I didn't do enough exploring around the area in Act 1, so it took me so long to start actually getting
Minerals?
all the like minerals and everything.
Yeah.
So I basically am like doing everything in half the time.
Yeah.
So I kind of screwed myself a bit,
Yeah.
but I think I can recover it.
There you go. There you go.
See, my worst part of Act 1 was when I ran into that field of attacking anomalies.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I panicked the hell out of that spot, and it was like watching a Scooby-Doo move of just me going,
Yeah. Me too. Me too, brother.
it's like, is that moving to me? What do you mean is that moving towards us?
Right.
See, I took the opposite approach. I just ran in a straight line.
Did you pass out?
No, but I was very radioactive.
Okay. I'll say this as well for the sake of the show. I told you this when I was texting you about it. If Alex Jordan doesn't at least get nominated for best performance, he gets robbed.
I stay firm in what I told you back.
What did you say? I don't remember.
I was like, while playing multiple characters is impressive, he's not a tall, buxom lady.
Relax. No, come on now, because he's done such a great job with all the different alters, man. Like he should at least be nominated for best performance this year. Like at least.
I'd have to see a few more before I could judge it.
See,
the ones that I have right now, like they all speak with kind of their own attitude.
Yeah, but you can tell it's kind of the same voice.
Yeah, it's. I mean, since they are
the same
alternate version of you, it makes sense. But at least with the ones that I have, there's not enough variety in it for me to be like, yeah. I mean, it's a good performance in the game, but there's points where I'm like, character's not speaking with a tone that that the words sound like they should be using right now.
So,
or like that this conversation should be hitting me with.
So I do agree. Like obviously I haven't heard how the refiner talks, but like for all the others that you have, like I do agree. Like you can tell it's all the same voice or whatever, but just they're different tones in how they talk. The scientist, is more like light the way that he speaks and very refined, and you have the more like down deep voice of like the miner. But for me, what did it was the doctor, because the doctor is like a very deep, like,
didn't you say he was Southern?
Yeah, it's
for
like
some
a very
reason?
deep Southern accent, and I'm just like, what are we doing, brother? Very deep Southern voice, man.
All I gotta say is a scientist better stop trying to fucking tell me how to run my ship.
I've had that happen a couple times, but with the scientist and the technician both. I've tried to say that to me. So I feel you. No, shout out to the alters, man. Very, very fun game to come out so far this year, and looking forward to finishing it.